Hey beautiful people, it's Sky. My mental health was destroyed by hustle. Oh wait, no, by cancel culture. I actually posted a video on this exact topic 7 months ago because I did have a mental breakdowns due to hustle culture and survival mentality. I made a video about it, but cancel culture messed with my head so much that I couldn't form normal sentences because I was so scared that I'd get destroyed once my channel gets more attention. I was at 60 subscribers and I was scared that people would pick apart everything I said, and I was apologetic to the point I'm sick of myself on that video. So I put it on private, which is a shame because I looked really good on the thumbnail. So thank you Victoria for making me less apologetic. Society needs structure in order to function. Our everyday needs a certain amount of structure for us to function. Education is a big privilege, but there's also a lot of pressure that comes with it, and I don't think I need to elaborate why. But how we handle life highly depends on upbringing. So family dynamics, financial situation, and relationship towards it. You have parents that don't care, parents who are chill about stuff but still care, and parents who care too much, either because of their own success and a wish that their kid does just as well, or because they aren't that successful by society's standards and they want their children to do better because they have better circumstances, but in a conventional way, which is a good thing until it's not. I'm very glad that my family is chill about this stuff and that I have a relatively solid support system. Despite very difficult dynamics and lack of control regarding certain aspects of life, just to make it clear that I am speaking about this stuff in general, not that I'm complaining, you know. Your perspective, my perspective, each individual's perspective on life depends on circumstances, personal issues, traumas, mentality, individuals' interests, talents, capabilities, mental and physical health. And hustle culture basically ignores all of that. You know, the basics. For most of these motivational gurus, I made a whole video about it, check it out. You just need to purchase their book with recycled motivational quotes to put you in a millionaire mindset. And all you need is to believe in yourself. That's it. Nothing practical, just as their courses are probably the only reason for their financial freedom. Okay, because they're scammers. They want us to believe that the only value we have is money on our bank accounts. And toxic positivity is seen as the thing that can heal us, which is a complete... Most of these gurus started in a very privileged position in the first place. Therefore, we shouldn't really take them seriously. Personal development depends on each individual. You can't put a dysfunctional addict in the same box with a stable functional person. For them, just taking a shower can be an achievement. Take control back. Start your own business. If you can, but you can't skip 1,000 stairs. Hustle culture isn't rational, and sometimes the opposite of hustle culture, that I call survival mentality, can be just as irrational. They're both stressful, they just go in the opposite directions. Like, you have to work constantly to survive. If not, you're just lazy. Man, I'm here to work a summer job. That's it. I physically do not need to be busy every single second. Stop treating me like you're better than me. You're just older. I remember an older coworker getting so mad at me for finishing a 10-hour minimum wage job shift just 1 hour before because I had to study, and all of that was approved by my boss. Some people think that if us young people aren't burnt out, we're just lazy, we're conceited. No matter how polite we are, no matter how much we try, how much effort we put in at work. Like, when I do different jobs, I know I put in 100% of myself in. Let me breathe. Respect me if I respect you. I think most nurses should hear that. Like, y'all are bitches for no reason. Not everyone, but a lot. And if you're a nurse, you know that. There should be no shame if you aren't an overachiever. Your productivity doesn't define your worth. Neither does success, level of education, money. Money helps for sure, but if you don't have it, you're still valuable, still worthy, no matter how much you struggle in life. Always be aware of your worth. You can be rich and you can have a massive respect towards a working class. You can be socially on a lower position and still respect the upper class. I can't stand when there's no mutual respect. Just because you earn more or are more educated doesn't mean you're any better than people that are not on your position. And just because you earn less, you can't be mad at people who earn more and don't directly impact your employment circumstances. We don't have a full control over everything that happens and how we feel, but we have control over our actions or reactions and have no excuses to be mean towards our co-workers or classmates or anyone because of our triggers. Unless we're in the right, but we can still sort it out in a kind way, in a respectful way. If you come far and achieve a certain type of privilege, doesn't mean you should feel guilty about it and tolerate BS from jealous people if you came to that point in an ethical way. Even though jealous people would try to argue that your way wasn't ethical when in fact was. But if it really wasn't, I totally understand the criticism, you know, like I do and I agree with it. Survival mentality also tends to measure... Oh my god, I have something wrong. Next. Survival mentality also tends to measure your worth in your productivity, but it's leaning toward the conventional ways. Don't get me wrong, we should figure out the ways to function, but that's not the source of our worth. We should find some balance between rationality and open-mindedness. It's great if you're a practical person, able to be productive, have it figured out, but don't judge a person based on their productivity. We're so much more than that. Don't judge a person based on that if it doesn't affect you. Like if you're struggling to pay your bills and you have a partner that doesn't care, like yeah, you have every right to be frustrated with them, but not to like a random person that passes by and tells you their circumstances, their story, etc. Like you can have your opinion, of course, but you know what I mean. I can't even count the amount of times that I lied to people about my productivity. Not because I'm ashamed at all, but just to escape uncomfortable situation and people who don't relate to me. Which is weird because my whole life there were just like two types of people. People who saw me as this perfectionist overachiever even though I'm not, and then people who just thought I was like lazy and dumb even though I'm also not that. Like I got like these mixed signals from people and I'm just so tired of explaining myself. You know, lies just as you say I'm good even though you're not. It's okay to take time for things if you feel like it. And if you have this opportunity, if you can't do that, sure, do what you have to do, of course. But don't let it define you. Society can be so close-minded, but it can also be too open-minded. We know the term woke, especially in certain communities, which can be very, very toxic. I agree with parts of hustle culture, but I also agree with parts of conventional way of thinking. It's just pointless to take anything to the extreme. And society tends to do that, especially on social media. We had a talk about fat positivity, and we probably need to discuss more things. For example, if a child has a gender dysphoria, we definitely shouldn't judge them. They need love, compassion, understanding, support. But also don't put a 5-year-old child. I'm gonna make a whole video about this. Cancel culture spread it over all aspects of social issues and it's insane. I remember thinking if my mom would get cancelled by those chronically online morons, if they could do that. Like I analyzed the crap out of what she said and I realized that just because she's very irrational in a way she looks at life doesn't mean she's in the wrong, doesn't mean that she's not open-minded, she just has opinions. And she's quite picky with words she chooses, like quite respectful, even too respectful sometimes. I get kind of mad about it. But I bet that cancel culture members would pick apart and destroy anyone just because, I don't know, they're bored. But they don't realize that they are the toxic ones. I'm mentioning all of this because this exact video topic was so hard for me to make around 7 months ago, and I'm just explaining why I'm re-uploading this video, this time officially. All I want to achieve with this channel is to fight for balance. We should be rational but also sympathetic. We should be sympathetic but also rational. Your struggles are valid, but we shouldn't project our frustration on a person that has nothing to do with it. If we do that, we should take accountability and also be forgiven, not cancelled. Balance. There's just so much that I mentioned in that first video about child-parent dynamics, but let's just say that every parent should be enough open-minded to let their child express themselves based on their capabilities, but enough put together to let a child know they should do something meanwhile they're aiming for something greater. Also, I'm so sorry if I'm having a resting bitch face during this video, but really, during the first video, I was just so...
Oh, I have to be bubbly, I have to be bubbly.
And I'm like, fuck it. I don't have to be bubbly all the time. Oh, and don't act like providing the basic needs is enough for your child to be functional. Maybe to function, but not to be actually functional with all the aspects. Instead, teach them to be grateful for the basic needs and still work through the other issues to improve the quality of their life and essentially yours as well. You deserve it. Parents are humans as well, and they have their own stories, their own struggles. If they're pushing anything irrational to you, it's not because they're ignorant. It's because they're ignorant and victims themselves. I can't imagine living during the times that there was no mental health awareness. So older generations really can't understand us if they never let understand themselves. Also, we don't need to respect each other's beliefs, but we need to respect the fact that we have other beliefs and respect each other. I hope this video makes sense. Feel free to comment down below. Let's have a discussion. Sky loves you, God bless you, and I can't wait to interact with you on this platform.